Okay, so I'm going to go over the transfer 101. I don't like using the presenter view, so this is what we got right here. So we're going to go over the CSU system. So there's 23 CSUs across California. They're local area concentration, like Cal State LA is our closest here from Rio Hondo. There's a combination of theory and practice. The majors are offered at CSU are, a lot of them are like hotel management, rehabilitation services, child development, criminal justice, nursing. And they're designated for daytime, part-time students. They have weekend classes available and evenings. And most of these campuses offer bachelor's, master's, and doctorate degrees. So minimum requirements, let me move this out of the way. There's 60 transferable units, minimum of 2.0 GPA, 2.4 for non-resident students, and you must complete the Golden 4. That's one course in oral communication, one course in English composition, critical thinking, and one transferable math course. And all these courses have to be passed with a C or better. And you want to be competitive when you're applying to the CSU system. And being competitive consists of completing a general ed pattern, such as the GE or IGETC, completing a major prep, and achieving your GPA that is, a little higher than the 2.0. So like for CSU, in 2018, the average was 3.5 to 3.7, just because the majors were impacted. And that just means, a lot of folks are applying to certain majors. So that means they have to boost up the GPA. And being competitive also means completing an ADT, an associate degree for transfer. And that can be an Associate of Arts or Associate of Science. And applying to impacted campuses or major will vary or will require your competitive GPA. And they vary by major. And a really handy tool that we use is assist.org. So this finds the requirements for your major at the school you want to transfer to. And these are all for California, schools in California. And they can be used for CSUs and UC campuses. So they'll look at your major prep requirements for each CSU that you're applying to, and they'll see if, the courses here at Rio are equivalent to the courses that they are, that's required to your major. And highly selective majors like sciences, engineering, psychology, they're based on major prep courses completed prior to transfer. So that's when we get to see, like, we'll put in like a sociology course and make sure it's compatible with the major prep courses that are on the CSU site. So this is a really handy tool that you want to remember and utilize when you're, taking your courses. So being competitive, completing your associate degree for transfer. So it allows students at the California community colleges to earn an associate degree for transfer while prepping for your transfer to the Cal State University. So the requirements that you fully complete the CSU GE or IGETC pattern, complete the required 18 units for the ADT major, and earn a 2.0 GPA or above. And the benefits of getting the ADT, you get the admission to CSU System, at least one of 23 CSUs. Your programs deemed similar at a CSU, and admission with a junior status, no more than 60 additional units to complete the bachelor's degree. And you get a GPA bump of 0.1 to 0.2, depending on the CSU. So if you get that ADT, you do get a GPA bump. And sometimes folks depend on that because, you want to be competitive when you're applying. So Rio Hondo College offers 29 associate degrees for transfer. So the AST, these are the list of all the AAs that you're able to get the ADT in. So the UC system, I'm going to cover that briefly. So there are 10 campuses across California. These ones are more research-based, designed for daytime, full-time students. And just like the CSUs, they do have bachelor's, master's, and doctorate degrees that are offered. And I would say you're also able to tag. Right now, I'm just going to throw in by the 30th, the UC tag applications that's the deadline, the 30th. So there's 6 of the UCs. I think it's Riverside, San Diego, Merced, Irvine, and I believe Davis that offer the tag. So just throwing that out there. So for the UCs, it's 60 transferable units, a GPA of 2.4, and for non-residents, 2.8. And this one, you have to complete the 7-course pattern. So that's 2 courses in English, Comp, and Critical Thinking, 1 transferable math course, and 4 courses in 2 of these areas. So that's arts and humanities, behavioral and social science, and biological and physical science. And all these courses must be passed with a C or better. And being competitive, you want to make sure you follow the IGETSI pattern, completion of your major prep courses, achieving a competitive GPA. And those ones kind of vary depending on the major. So it can be anywhere from 2.8 would be competitive to 6 out of the 9 UCs. Anything over 3.2 is considered competitive for UCLA, UC San Diego, and UC Berkeley. If you have any honors courses or programs that you've been a part of, you can get priority consideration for being an honor student. And if you have any special projects or programs that you are part of, that will also help you be competitive. So any like awards, Dean's Honor Roll, anything like that will help you stand out. And this is the UC TAG, Transfer Admission Guarantee Program. It offers qualified California community college students guaranteed admission to one of the 6 pertaining UCs: Davis, Irvine, Merced, Riverside, Santa Barbara, and Santa Cruz. So the requirements are campus specific. So you'd have to look at each website and see what the requirements are, because some will, take you based off certain requirements. You don't have to have all like 60 transferable units. You don't have to have all that because, they're specific. So applications are due by September 30th, the year prior to transferring. So like right now, they're due September 30th. Right now we have students actively applying, and they still have to apply to the UC application. That's October 1st. Those applications open up. So they would still have to apply, but this is just to, every year these open up at the same time. So you just want to be mindful of when that is. So you're only able to tag to 1 campus, and you had to have earned 30 or more UC transferable units at the time of your tag application. So if you have a 2.8 to a 3.5 or higher, that's, one of the requirements. And some of the benefits are early review of your academic records, early admission notification, and specific guidance about your major prep and general education courses. And the reason why they give you that early review is because when you apply starting October 1st, when everybody applies, you have already completed the tag a month before. So they already have your application on hand. So that's how they get to, weed you out and say, okay, these folks are the ones that applied early. We're going to give the review sooner than everybody else. So that's kind of the benefit. And a lot of times folks think they can't afford a UC. So if you are eligible, your system-wide tuition and fees can be fully covered by the UC's Blue and Gold Scholarship. It's grant money. Eligibility, you must submit a FAFSA or California Dream application, be a California resident, or have an AB 540 status. And your total family or individual income needs to be below 80,000. And you need to meet other campus requirements for UC grant aid, like for example, to be rolled in at least half-time during the academic year, meet campus academic progress standards, not be in default or student loans. And well, basically you want to be in good standing. And you can look up more information for the Blue and Gold Scholarship if you are interested, you know, if you do plan on applying to a UC, it is affordable. So I'm going to cover private universities. So there's over 70 private universities across California, and every campus is unique. They do offer bachelor's, master's, and doctorate degrees as well. So the ones local, USC, Whittier College, Laverne, Azusa Pacific, and Hope International's in Fullerton, right across the street from Cal State Fullerton. A lot of these campuses, if you're interested in applying or even just to see if they have your major, I would say don't count these campuses out. They do offer a lot of funding and a lot of support. The Transfer Center went on a tour to USC and Azusa Pacific just recently, actually, and Laverne. They offer a lot of funding, a lot of opportunities to get your tuition covered. USC had a panel that spoke and said, most of their students said they got all of their tuition covered. Some of them got their housing covered. And, they qualified for grants and scholarships and stuff like that. And if you don't qualify for that, they have other opportunities to assist you in that. So don't be discouraged to apply to a private university. They offer a lot of support. And requirements vary. So start your research early, start looking up each individual university and see what their requirements are, because they have like a revolving admissions. They have the opportunity to accept you at any time. They can, accept your application at any time. They're not like the CSU UC system where it's, one time you can apply. So many schools will allow transfer with less than 60 units. Some colleges will accept the IGETC, the general ed specific to the college like USC. So GPA, a required GPA is 2.5 to a 3.5 and above. And if you have STAT or ATC scores, some institutions might require that. They have the common application for that. So you won't use the CSU UC application, you'll use common application. And for that, these are the two links that you can use for independent or private universities. Here is the info or the website you would use for out-of-state colleges and universities. And for, whoops, I think I jumped. For any information you want to talk about transfer, we can assist you here at the Transfer Center, and you can make an appointment with one of our transfer counselors. And being competitive, completion of your major prep courses, achieving a competitive GPA. And again, you would have to see what that specific major or institution requires, because they do vary. Also, if you're in honors courses, any type of programs, if you hold a position, leadership position, you want to state any type of leadership roles, experiences, volunteer, special college projects, programs, accomplishments, any of that will help you be competitive. So this is all I have for right now. This is, just your basic transfer 101. If you have any questions, I'm happy to answer them. I can give you resources, but I would highly recommend you stop by the Transfer Center and stop sharing. I highly recommend you come by the transfer center, meet with the transfer counselor, see what the resources we have here in our office, and it's never too early to start planning to transfer. Anybody have questions?
Really quick, Vanessa, do you mind walking through the Transfer Center website with them? Because I think a
Yes.
lot of students don't know about the website, and there's so many easily accessible resources. Like when you all are ready to apply to CSUs and UCs, the Transfer Center website has YouTube tutorials linked there that walk you through it. How you can schedule an appointment with a visiting university rep. So many good things that I feel all our students could utilize. And Miss Vanessa will be walking us through it.
Yes. So once you go to the Rio Hondo website, you click on academic support, drop down to Transfer Center. It brings you right to our website. We have tabs from apply to transfer, transfer requirements, and it's basically going to go up over everything I just covered. The ADT petition. So we give you the link to petition to graduate. Here's exactly what I showed you. The associate degree for transfer and the links. The tag, the UC tag application. Here's the link for the UC tag, and here's the link for the November, or it should say October 1st through the 30th through November. This is for the fall admission, and this one is September 1st through the 30th. This is the tag. We have honors transfer programs. We have pathways. So we have summer scholar transfer institutes. So if you want to attend a UC and you're not, it's not time for you yet, but you know you want to attend a UC, we have summer scholar institutes at UCI. So you'd spend 10 days at UCI, take 2 classes. One is a counseling class and one is either a sociology class or a speech class, speech 101. You get to take those classes at the UC campus. You get to stay in a dorm, eat in the campus dining hall, get that whole college life experience, especially if maybe a UC isn't an option because it doesn't have your major, something like that. This is a good opportunity for you to get your, that experience. We have the UC summer, the Berkeley experience, Cal State Dominguez Hills pathway. We have a Azusa, what is it? Cal State, what is it? My Path to ASU. This one has Arizona State University local. So we have a pathway, a direct pathway so that you can take your courses and get accepted into Arizona State University. Or we also have a local ASU program where we have folks from the local, I believe they're in LA. They have a campus in LA. So you can take courses here and still graduate and get your degree from Arizona State. So there's a lot of experiences, different types of experiences and programs for you to take advantage of. Our counseling resources. We have information for the different institutions, and we have upcoming events. So this is something really important. This is something that the Transfer Center hosts. So any type of event, in-person tour, we have tours every Friday. We've been to USC, Azusa Pacific. This week we're going to Cal State Fullerton. I believe the next week we're going to UC Riverside and Cal Poly Pomona. We have table visits. We've been having reps, university reps in our center. Today we had UCLA. Yesterday we had Cal Poly Pomona. Last Thursday we had Dominguez Hills. We try to offer as many, opportunities for you to get research, for you to get information. So keep an eye on our upcoming events. And then if you are interested in speaking to a university rep, you can go here, schedule an appointment. And these are the reps that we have close communication with that have given us their Calendly invite. So you can just book an appointment and meet with them on Zoom, for 15, 20 minutes and, get some information, or you can even tell them, when I want to follow up another appointment, I might have some other questions later on. you know, admissions questions. These are really simple tools to book an appointment. We also have our transfer center support Zoom room. So at any time during Monday through Thursday, 10:30 a.m. to 4:30 p.m., we have the Zoom room open. That's, you know, an addition. So if you're not coming to campus and you have a transfer question, you have an application question, you have any type of question, we can support you through the Zoom room if you are not on campus. If you are on campus, we are open from 8 a.m. to 7 p.m. Monday through Thursday, in-person hours. Fridays, we do close the office at 2, but we're still here till 4:30 because we're working on other, you know, planning events, planning tabling. And here is our Zoom room hours. Yes, I have a question. Guadalupe?
Yes, I was wondering when should I start applying to transfer?
So it depends on when you are done. So if you're finishing and you're graduating this spring,
And how many credits is what I mean?
you need 60 transferable units.
Okay, so I'm at 34 right now.
Mhm.
After I complete the fall, like how much longer do I need?
Yeah, so I
to-
would recommend you meet with a counselor so they could make sure they're transferable units, because you can have
Okay.
90 units, but they need to be transferable. So I would recommend, you know, contacting us, either calling us, joining us on our Zoom room, or stopping by, and we can schedule an appointment to meet with the transfer counselor, and they can better, you know, assist you on when that timeline would be. And you always want to apply 1 year in advance.
Okay.
This way,
Thank
you
you.
know, that's how long the process takes. So for counseling appointments here, we do have a link to schedule your e-SARS, your appointment online, but you can also call our office or drop by and we can schedule your appointment. We do have our in-person services. And then if you want to join our contact list, so if you want to be emailed and, you know, sent reminders of our events, you can go ahead and scan this QR code, join our contact list, and, you know, we'll send you reminders and events that go on throughout the year. And then I believe that's it. Whoops.
Vanessa, can you also cover that? The application is also going to be opening up soon. So what kind of
Yes.
services do our transfer center offer?
Yes, let me show you that. Give me 1 second. So the Cal State Apply and the UC Apply open up October 1st through November 30th. So if you're starting the application and you're ready to, you know, apply to transfer, please stop by the transfer center. We can assist you through that whole process. It does get a little tedious. So if you're applying as an incoming transfer student and you want to apply for spring, not spring, but fall. Right now, spring was open recently, so that's why it's still, the application for fall hasn't been open yet. You can create an account, but the application won't open until October 1st. So if you want to start looking into institutions and starting the application, it is a tedious process, so we can walk you through the whole thing. We would need you to have all your transcripts from every community college you've attended. If Rio's the only one, then, you know, it's a little easier for us, but if not, you'd have to have either, you can have unofficial. We need copies of unofficial, either on your phone, printed, hard copy. This way we can help you enter all of these transcripts into your application. You have to submit every single one, and that's the tedious part, because a lot of times, you know, you've taken a class and you don't remember what it's called. It's always helpful. You have to have your transcripts on hand, unofficial, of course. And then once you're almost done completing the application, we have counselors available to look over. So we have counselors here to do the application review. So they can look over it, make sure everything's good, and then you're able to submit and you're good to go. And again, you can come back in. Some of the applications require a supplemental application, like Cal State Long Beach. I believe they're one of the only ones that require a supplemental application. We can assist you with that too. It's a second part of an application that asks different questions, and we can walk you through that process. We have a lab here. We also offer workshops completing the applications. So I would say start early and don't wait till October 1st if you are ready to transfer. Anybody else have any questions?
For some of my students who may be wondering, am I ready? Well, that's always make the appointment with the counselor. I always inform students it's always best to meet with the counselor once a semester, because even though they made that student ed plan for you, things change, right? Maybe that one class was too hard and you had to drop it, or you failed a class, right? There's things that have to be moved around, and the counselor is going to be able to let you know, right? We're going to place it here, or maybe requirements change, right? But you don't know that. But the counselor knows that because that's their job. So always meet with the counselor. So if you're not sure, you're not aware, right? Reach out to the Rio Hondo College Counseling Center, the Transfer Center. If you attend another college, right, go ahead and visit your own specific counseling center, transfer center, and they'll be able to answer all those questions for you.
Yeah,
But yes.
it's not too late. If you are ready and you are going to apply October 1st, it's not too late. Just start looking now where you want to apply, which institution has your major, because you may think, oh, I want to go to Cal State Fullerton, and they might not offer your major. So start doing that work now. See where you want to go. What's in your best interest. Do you want to be a commuter? Do you want to go out of state? You have to do that research now. This way on October 1st, when they open up, you don't have to necessarily submit on October 1st. They just open up that day. You still have till November 30th to complete the application or submit it. I would not recommend waiting till the last day, just because last transfer season on November 30th, the system crashed because there were thousands and thousands of students submitting on that day, and the system crashed. What ended up happening is they extended the deadline because the system crashed, but you don't want to wait till the last day. You want to submit early, and we do support you through the whole process. So take advantage of our help. Take advantage that we do have a full staff here to, assist you. And yeah, I would definitely, see a couple of our counselors here. Or if you've already seen a counselor, I would recommend always double check, always see a transfer counselor, just because they're specific to transfer. They know the different questions, they know the different requirements, and they do a lot of webinars, so they are constantly getting refreshed of what's required, what changes have been made. So I would definitely come see our counselors a couple of times, not just once, just to make sure, because requirements do change. Your classes do, requirements do change. Sorry, I wasn't looking at the chat. Yes, they are open from October 1st to November 30th. Anybody else have a question?
Any last questions from Ms. Vanessa from the Transfer Center?
I can put some resources in the chat if y'all want to.
Oh, Vanessa, we have a question about the campus tours.
Yes.
How do they RSVP for those?
So you just have to call or stop by and let us know which ones you want to attend. Cal State Fullerton is already booked. It's been full for about 3 weeks. That one was you know, it got full pretty fast. I believe we have UC Riverside is just about full, and Cal Poly Pomona is getting there as well. So all you have to do is call us up and we can put your name on the list. Which one's that one? Both of them are pretty full. And one of the counseling courses, one of the professors brings her whole class with us. So that is part of the reason why we can only allow 25 students, transfer students, because the counseling 102 course, the professor brings her whole class and she has 24 students. So that's why it's kind of first come, first serve. Any other questions? Yeah, I just put a list of resources. If you all want to click them, open them, copy them. This way, you know, a little bit of what I mentioned already about the UCs, CSUs, and private institutions. Our transfer programs, transfer center website, our Zoom room, everything's on there. I'm hoping you can see it. I'm also a real alum. I transferred and went to Cal State Fullerton. And then I got my bachelor's in human services. I'm currently a third year graduate student in my master's program at Cal State Long Beach, Cal State Long Beach, in the student development and higher ed program. So if you have any questions, stop by and see me. My colleague also is here. He went to UCLA and he was also a real alum. So, you know, we're pretty familiar with the whole transfer process. So please stop by and take advantage of, you know, your resources.